Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Moving on with bunkai. We're at this position in Pinan Godan. So we've gone here, and I did this as the choke last week. Now we're going to start here and move to this position. Okay, just to here. 1 and 2 with the turn. So on the cross blocks are much disputed and talked about for a long time. Why would you use two hands to block a single attack? You're leaving your face open, and you get all those kinds of comments. Then you hear there are no blocks in karate. Well, there are several myths that I like to dispel. I was talking to my class about this tonight. One of them is that there are no blocks in karate, which is true from a point of view, but it depends on what you define as blocks. You can watch some of these videos put out, Navy SEAL fighting, karate will get you killed, no karate in real fight. And then they're putting their elbows up, or they're attacking the limb that's hitting them. It's true that there are no blocks, because the word uke, which we translate as block, basically means to receive, but a block is actually a strike. So if I think of a block, like a road block, that's just something I set stationary, it's in the way. I'm not just putting something in the way of his punch, and that's true. In karate, if a guy is attacking me, I'm not just putting something in the way of his punch, like I would in boxing, creating a shield. I don't have gloves on my head. If he throws a circular punch and my fist's on my head, I'm just hitting myself in the temple. That's still going to hurt, okay? Because I don't have the pillow protection. Now, there are some where they do the open hand, but again, if he throws that against my open hand, he can also be breaking my hand, plus it's still going to rattle my cage. So the concept that there are no blocks in karate is true, because we're not just going to put something in the way or in the road of the attack. What we call blocks are actually strikes, but you have to think, what am I striking? So if he's throwing a punch like last week's technique, and I just do this and put something in the way, or he's throwing a circular punch and I just put this in the way of his punch, yes, that's a wasted motion, and then this hand is doing nothing. Totally true. However, if he's throwing that punch and I whack his hand, and this hand is simply prepared to do the next move, which we do in the kata, then, and again, the hikite, always pulling something back. Yes, true to an extent, but, and to support this point, I was just pulling this out, and I have the older version also, Chokimotobu's book, There Are No Blocks in Karate. Chokimotobu, greatest fighter ever. What the heck's he doing there? Blocking. Let's turn the page. Chokimotobu, greatest fighter ever. What's he doing? Blocking. But is he just putting something in the way of the attack, or is he hitting the attack so the guy who was attacking him has to think about it a little bit? So that's the first concept I want to throw out there. Blocks, correct, don't exist in terms of putting a stationary obstacle between me and his attack. Our blocks in karate are moving, and if you go way back, so we're at video 199 now, if you go way back to the early 20s, 30s, somewhere in their videos, 150 videos ago, and look at blocks, our blocks are traveling from point near our body, diagonally out and away from my body, because I want to hit whatever he's attacking me with. Goju-ryu's Iken Miyagi-sensei, there's a great video that was sent to me by some friends years ago of Wade Croninger studying in Iken Miyagi-sensei's dojo, and Croninger's hitting, and Iken Miyagi's going, bam, and he's cutting into Wade's arm. Wade's a big guy, and Iken Miyagi's about 5 foot nothing, but he's whacking up into Croninger's arm, and this is a hit. It's a strike. Now, in football, I'd use it as a forearm shiver into the neck. In karate, if he's attacking me with a high gate, circular, downward, anything straight, circular, or downward attack, and I do this, I'm not just covering my head and going, oh no, don't hit me. I am going from position near my body out and forward, because if he's attacking, don't hit hard because you know this hurts, hey, and I go cut, bam, and I cut up into the muscle of his arm, boom. Or I cut up into the brachial artery, or I cut up behind the elbow, coming from near to forward. I'm not blocking. I'm not putting something out there to not get hit. Oh no, cover up. I am striking the attacking arm. So in that sense, no blocks in karate. So now with that said, let's go to the cross block. Years ago at the Osawa Cup tournament in Las Vegas, one of the seminars was taught by Fumio Demura of Shitoryu, and he spent 2 hours in a seminar on the cross-handed or jujiuke cross block. Covered a lot of things, basically all the same stuff that my students had learned in Kempo. In fact, I had a student who went to that seminar with me, and he came back and said, yeah, that's all the stuff you were doing in Kempo. I said, yeah, because karate's karate. So when am I going to use this? If he's throwing a punch to my body, and I do this, and I put both hands down, and I leave them there, I'm going to get hit. If he throws a kick, and I put both hands down, and my hit, I'm going to get hit. Even if I'm in a good front stance, he's got forward momentum. I'm going to get hit with both hands here. So this is not just to stop and stay stationary. We have to look at what the hands do after. Now in Thai boxing, right? If he's hooked my neck and he's kneeing my body, this is how I'm blocking. Okay? I know I don't have to worry about his hands right away. I'm blocking here when he knees. Now when he puts his knee down, he may release and start to elbow or something, and then yes, I have to move on from there. But again, my hands have gone from a low cross, even though it's more forearm, to a high cross, and that's my cross block. So just because we extend it more in karate doesn't mean it's a useless block. When he's kneeing me, if I'm fighting, right, he hooks me, I want to come down and block that. If I try to do single hand block on this knee, it's going to drive up and through and I'm going to get hit. If I use two, I can stop it. Okay? That's item one. Item two. Item one is I don't leave my hands stationary, I do something else with them. Item two is I use them to defend against something strong as an attack. Item three is what comes next in this kata, which is here. And Michael Calandra of Ishinryu Karate in New York did a recent, trying to remember, I think it was Sanseidu kata from the Ishinryu version, or Chinto, I think it was Chinto applications he was doing, showing this movement, which is exactly how we're going to use it, which is as a strike up into the neck. And again, we could go right to the choke here, which I did on the ground last week, but it's a strike, two hands, boom, right up into the neck. So I'm blocking strong, and I'm hitting strong right up into the neck. So if he's throwing just a front kick, hey, and I go, boom, and I hit that strong, bang, right up into the neck. If he's coming from the knee, hooking my head, we're in combat, boom, boom, up into the neck, okay? If he's, I covered this a while back, the most common knife, grab that. The most common way, and this is prison yard, whatever, is just that upward sticking me in the, same concept as with the knee. I want to stop that knife, okay? And no matter how many times he keeps jabbing, I want to stop that until I can do something about it, all right? So the cross block is a powerful way to stop danger things from happening. How are we going to put all that together from our kata? The technique goes from here, jujiuke, jujiuke open hand, and to here, okay? So the technique for today, using all of that jabber I just did, maigeri, hey, I block, coming into my attack. Now my hands roll. I'm going to roll by turning knife against the jaw, palm against the head, rolling. I'm in a cat stance. Boom. Back of the neck, middle of the spine. Kick takedown if you choose. Kick groin if you choose. Okay? Muichido. Hey. Block. I'm already in my cat. Sliding in. Over and under. Pulling down and in. My cat again. Boom. Boom. Your choice of targets at that point. Right? Is that the same? So again, putting all those together, stopping the power attack. Do I have to do a full front stance? Yes, sure, I can do that. Hey! Now as she's coming in, I can interrupt. as he's trying to throw that punch around. Okay, again, hey, front stance, boom, slide in, turning. Mean stuff here, right? Throw his head on the ground. Hey, the other, so the concept, again, there are no blocks in karate. True. There are strikes to the opponent's weapon. They're not all tweedy, okay? Not everything is a joint lock. Don't be the hammer that sees everything as a nail. See the other options. Yes, we can do tweedy from there. If he were doing just without the knife, if he were doing the knife and I blocked it here, yeah, I can roll that into tweedy. Okay, I can roll that into a joint lock and break the wrist here. I can reverse it and continue with my tweedy techniques. That would be my middle block. So we can extrapolate other things. Is it always that? No. Sometimes a block is just a block, but only if you understand what a block really is in karate terms, which is an attack to the opponent's striking weapon. Thanks for joining. Hopefully that cleared some things up. Until next week, as always, let's keep practicing.